just doing our study guide yesterday.
Yes.
Can I go turn my check in, please?
Hurry. No, we're not doing that. Y'all have something else to do, so hurry. Y'all haven't finished everything yet. Bye, baby.
But that freaking nobody wanted to play heads up 7 simple, but now. Everyone was like, I knew Sam did be like, if you weren't too big to one, like Saturday, no, I got something on Saturday.
Yes.
Look at this too. My first period teacher always loses stuff in the situation.
First period is who you have to turn it to. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Who's your first period teacher?
Mr. Hopes.
I may wait and give it to him tomorrow when they're actually due then. Give it to him tomorrow. It's actually due tomorrow.
Alright.
Oh, I didn't turn the screen on. What about it? Huh?
Where are your pajamas?
I'm not wearing pajamas to school. Y'all must be crazy.
Why not?
Mm-mm.
Might go to the restroom.
Hurry. Hurry, hurry, hurry.
How do you spell it?
Huh? I don't know.
35. Anybody need 35? Yes? All right. What do the first two have in common? More than X. 8X. There you go. What's 32 divided by 8? 4. And then you took out the X, leaves you with Y. What's 40 divided by 8? 5. Took out the X, that leaves you with a B. All right. What do these two have in common? -3A. All right, for that leaves -12 divided by -3 is 4. Took out the A, that leaves me with a Y. -15 divided by -3 is a +5. Took out the A, that leaves me with a B. These two are the same, so I group them together. That leaves me with 8X minus 3A. All right, what about the first 36? X cubed plus 64, yep. Okay, remember that the formula was the first term, and then the same sign, and then 64's cube root is 4, and then you square the first term. It's the opposite sign. Remember SOAP on this one? Opposite sign.
Wait.
What? What?
This is. I'm confused.
Why?
Because it's same sign, but it's like.
Oh, it's a plus sign. I'm sorry. That was my bad. I didn't see the plus sign. I thought it was a minus sign. I'm sorry. No wonder you're confused. I know. I think I just saw this negative sign right here.
Oh.
I don't know what I was looking at. I saw a negative. Turn it off. So you got same sign, and then you cube root to get 4, right? And then you square the x, and it's the opposite sign. Then you multiply x times 4 together. What's x times 4? 4. And then you multiply it by 2, and that gives you 8. Then that last sign is always positive. That's what the AP in SOAP stands for. And then you square the second term, square 4, and you get 16. This can break down. If you do it right, this will always break down again. What's the factors of 16 that add or subtract to be -8? 4 and 4, both negative. And there's 2 of them, which is why I wrote it x minus 4 squared. All right.
I just keep forgetting to do the second one.
You want to know a trick? It's always going to be this term, same sign, cube root, and it's the same numbers, opposite sign, squared, every single time. Every time. So if you want to do that, if you can remember that better than doing all this hot stuff, it'll be the same thing every time. Okay? It's the same sign, cube root, opposite sign, squared. It'll always work out to be this right here. Okay, what about this 36 complete the square? Do I need to go over this problem? Anybody need it? Yes? Okay, remember that we've got to move that 11, so we're going to subtract it, right? Let me come over here while I get some more room. So it'll be x squared plus 4x is equal to negative 11. Then second step, all the 2's, right? Second term, divide by 2, square it. That's 2 squared, and that's 4. So I'm going to add 4 to both sides. All right, what's negative 11 plus 4? Negative 7. Very good. And then I can factor this. I get to cheat by looking right here. So it'll be x plus 2 squared. How do you get rid of a square? You square root both sides. And so you have x plus 2 is equal to plus or minus. The negative comes out as I. And then square root of 7. Are y'all okay? And then all you do is move the 2 over. So it'll be negative 2 plus or minus I square root of 7. Y'all okay? What's wrong? What? You don't know what? Oh, I got the hiccups. Oh, okay. All right, so tonight, here's what we're going to do tonight. We're going to do 37 and 38. Just 2 problems because you got a test tomorrow, okay? Just 2 problems. Just 37 and 38. Oh, tonight is 12-8. 37 and 38 tonight. That's all you're going to do. Just 2 problems. Yes, ma'am. They have a 2 in common. So you pull a 2 out to the front. Yeah. And then you'll move that, let's see, that'll be 45. You'll move that 45 to the other side, square root. It won't square root, but there will be a perfect square that goes into it, which is 9. All right, guys, here we go. We've got a couple of problems that we've got to finish, and then we can do your review. Your test is scheduled for tomorrow. However, remember that you can take your test on Monday. I have a feeling that most of you in here will want to take it on Monday since second period has kind of been gypped for time the past couple of days. So we're going to go to this page first. We're on page 23. This is really, really easy. We're going to mark out 4 and we're going to mark out 6. This is page 23. Page 23. Okay, this is a very, very easy. We have done this 1,000 times before, okay? But all I did was just make it as an actual question, okay? All right, what's it say? It says, write the polynomial function of least degree with integral coefficients that have the given what? God, what are all these? They are all zeros, right? How do we start off a function, first of all? Well, we don't say y anymore. What do we say? F of x. That's a function, right? And if these are zeros, I mean, we've done this 1,000 times. How do I write 5 as a 0?
X minus 5?
Close. X plus 5. Because if I were to... Oh, no, it is minus. I'm sorry, that is a plus sign. You were right, Scotty. Sorry, Scotty. So because if I were to say x minus 5 equals 0, what would be my x? What would be my 0? 5. All right, how do I write this one?
X plus 2.
X plus 2. How do I write the last one? X plus 1. What do they mean by least degree? Do you see how they're all ones? That means the least degree. I don't want to FOIL it because then that would give me an exponent, my biggest exponent of how much? 3 when you add them all together, right? And it wants least degree, so it wants you to leave it like that. And that's it. That's all you got to do. Let's go to number 2. How do you start off a function? F of x. And how do I write negative 4? And how do I write negative 3? And how do I write 5? There you go. That's it. That's all you do. Are y'all okay? 3 takes it a little bit further, but not much. All right, so you're going to write f of x. How many negative 1s do you have? 2. So it's x plus 1 squared, right? All right, now here's the deal about this one. This is x minus 2i, correct? But if I were to solve that for 0, what does the I mean? You had a negative square root, correct? And what number would be inside that 2 would come out as? 4. What does I mean? You have a negative square root, so you know you have a negative inside your square root. What number had to be in the inside so that 2 would come out? 4. And if you had a square root, when you solved it, how do you get rid of a square root? Square. So you know that this is going to have to be x squared plus 4. If you don't believe me, do this. X squared plus 4 equals 0. How do I move the 4? You subtract. How do you get rid of the square? And what's the square root of negative 4? It is 2i. Wow. Okay, let's do one more. Okay, so the 3 and the 1 are easy, right? How do I write the negative 3? Plus 3. How do I write the 1? Minus 1. And this will be x plus 3i, right? Okay, what does the I mean? There was a negative square root. And what number has to be inside so that I get 3? There you go. So it's f of x, and then x plus 3, x minus 1. And to get a square root, you had to have a square. So x squared plus 9. So if you don't know if that's right or not, you could solve that. Move the 9. That would be subtraction, right? Square root, what's the square root of negative 9? 3i, right? Are y'all okay? Yes, ma'am.
So are your i's, like, when you get it down to x squared plus 9, is it always going to be a plus there? Because you have to...
Yes, because you would have to subtract it. If it has an I, it's always going to be a plus right there. All right, y'all okay? Yes, no, baby? Okay. So what about checkpoints? I gave those to you yesterday. If you didn't get a checkpoint, come see me. And study guides. I got to hand you your study guides. Did I give you study guides yesterday?
Yes.
I did? Okay. What are we doing? All right, checkpoints. I need checkpoints. People that haven't had checkpoints.
Did we get the study guide yesterday?
We did. I'm going to grab it for you in just a second. Here. All right, study guides. 1, 2. Madison, you need a study guide.
Sorry.
Alright, let's look at study guides, because look guys, we only covered the stuff that we had to get to, okay, because we're kind of getting pressed for time. So this study guide, we can take some stuff off. Y'all ready? We can tweak some stuff and we can take some stuff off. Alright, it's front and back. Am I expecting you to do all of these problems? No, I am not expecting you to do all these problems, okay? Alright, so let's look at 1 through 5. Remember that quiz that we had? Alright, 1 through 5 with the exponents.
Why are we taking stuff off?
Yes. Did I not give you a study guide? Here, just take this one. Not sure where my, I should have one extra one. I'm not sure where it went. You're welcome. All right, here we go. 1 through 5 you got to keep. What about 6 through 11? What's it say to do? Simplify, guys. Okay, look. This has always been your downfall. You see things with parentheses and you're like, oh, I have to FOIL. You're not foiling on number 6. What are you doing? You're adding, okay? How many times are you going to write 5m minus 6 on number 7? Twice? Then you would FOIL, right? Number 8, what are you doing? Subtracting. Number 9, you're multiplying. Remember that homework that we did a few weeks ago? The very first homework where we had to distribute all that good stuff, and then add like terms. That's all you're doing, okay? Same thing on 10. 11, you're subtracting. Does that make sense to everybody? All right, let's look at this one. So we only learned synthetic division. 12 through 15 says do long division. Guys, it's the exact same answer. It's just a different way to do it, okay? We didn't have time to learn how to do long division. So 12 through 19 is just synthetic. It's the exact same thing. 12 through 19 is synthetic division. Yes, ma'am.
Was this one a test?
It was the same thing, yeah. It was the same thing.
Because I was confused, but I just did
Synthetic division, same exact thing. It's just a different way to do it.
Okay.
Just like you could graph to find the x-intercepts, or you could factor to find the x-intercepts. Or quadratic formula versus complete the square. It's just a bunch of different ways. Alright, let's see. You can mark out 20 through 23. Or if you wanted some extra practice on synthetic substitution, number 22 would be a good problem for synthetic substitution if you want some extra practice. Okay? Does that make sense to everybody? Alright, what about, let's look on the back. You can mark out 1, 2, and 3. You can mark out 1, 2, and 3. But if you wanted some extra practice on synthetic substitution, number 2 is a good problem for synthetic substitution, okay? Y'all good? Alright, let's look at number 3. Ready? Because I know it's been a minute since we've done this. Describe the end behavior, okay? Look at this arrow right here. Where is this y value going? So f of x is going to negative infinity. As your x's, where this arrow is on what side? The left, so your x's are going to negative infinity as well. Alright, what about your other arrow? Your other arrow is going positive, right? So this time f of x or your y's are going to positive infinity. And what side is this arrow on? The right side. So that means your x's are going to go to positive infinity as well. Okay, it says determine if it's even or odd. Both your arrows are going in different directions. So what is that? That's odd, right? Then finally it says state the number of zeros. How many zeros it has? It has 1, 2, 3. So it has number of zeros is 3. Are y'all okay? Alright, then you have 4 and 5 you can work on. Alright, 6, 7, and 8. Let's change those functions. Change those functions because the other ones didn't work out too well. So change those functions on 6, 7, and 8, okay? Change those functions. And that's just graphing, right? You've got to factor them and graph them, like your checkpoint is. All right, let's do number 9 together, okay? Because I know it's been a minute since we've done synthetic substitution. You ready for 9? Need an extra second? All right, 9 says synthetic substitution. So what number does it want you to plug in? 3. Remember that you don't change the sign when it's already changed the sign for you, okay? All right, and let's see. Are we missing any x values? Oh, yes, buddy, we are. What's my coefficient for x to the 4? 1. Do I have an x to the 3? Nope. Do I have an x to the 2nd? Nope. Do I have an x to the 1? Negative 8. There you go. Do I have a constant? There you go. Remember, this was the one, if you want to make yourself a note, synthetic substitution, your remainder is your answer, okay? Your remainder is your answer. All right, bring down the 1. multiply, what's 3 times 1? 3. And you're going to add, what's 0 plus 3? Multiply, 3 times 3. Add, 0 plus 9. Multiply, 27. Add, positive 19. Multiply, is that 60? No. 60 minus 3 is 57. And then add those two together and you do get 46. Very good. So f of 3 is 46. Do y'all remember this? How could I check it? I'm like, I'm on a test. I don't know if 46 is right. What could you do? Plug it in. All right, what's it say? X to 3 to the what power? Is it 5 or 4? 4?
Is this what we did yesterday?
What?
When did we do this?
We did this on, what's today? That would be Tuesday. Tuesday. See how I still got 46 when I plug it in? Y'all okay? All right, what about, let's do number 12 together. What's 12 say? What's the direction say on 12? Find the remaining factors. So what's the first, what do they give you is the first factor? You see on number 12?
X cubed.
No, that's not a factor.
That's
X minus 1, right? They give you X minus 1. So I'm going to do long division. So instead of minus 1, I'm going to put positive 1. Am I missing any exponents?
No.
Nope. I got 1, negative 2, negative 19, and 20. All right, here we go. Bring down the 1. Multiply and you get 1. Right, Matthew? Add, you get negative 1. Multiply, you get negative 1. Add, you get negative 20. Multiply, you get negative 20. Add, and you get how much? 0. All right, what exponent did we start with? 3? Okay, so this would be x squared minus x minus 20. Guys, if it wants you to find the remaining factors, what do you have to do to this? Factor it. If it wants you to find the remaining factors, you have to factor. What are the factors of 20 that add or subtract to be negative 1? 4 and 5. What signs give you negative 1? Plus and minus. There you go. Those are the remaining factors. I don't know if I got that right. What could I do?
easier.
I don't know if I got that right. What could I do?
Plug it into your calculator.
Plug it into your calculator. Y equals, what was it? X cubed minus 2x squared minus 19x plus 20. What 3 places should... Yes, ma'am.
Hey, can you please say, Alyssa Brown to the attendance window for a minute, please?
Yes, ma'am. Okay, what 3 places should it hit? Not negative 5. Positive 5, negative 4, and positive 1, right? Are y'all okay? All right, what about 15? You can mark out 15, by the way. Mark out 15. Mark out 15. What about 16? You want to do 16?
Sure.
All right, what did the directions say on 16?
Divide each column using synthetic division.
16?
Yes.
For each factor, list the possible roots.
Mm.
Find the exact.
List the possible roots. You might want to underline that. List the possible roots. Guys, underline where it says list the possible roots, okay? That's where you have to find the P and the Q and all that good stuff. I don't know why you're complaining. It's easy.
You confused us like yesterday.
All right, P. We didn't do that yesterday. P is your back number. What's your back number? 20. Q is your front number. What's your front number? 2. You got to find all the factors. What number goes into 20? 1, 2, Yep.
10.
Uh-huh. One more.
20.
And 20 itself.
Oh.
All right. What numbers go into 2?
1
And 2. And then you divide them. Hold on. Let everybody catch up. Hold on. All right. Y'all ready? Okay. Start with the first P. What's 1 divided by 1? 1. What's 1 divided by 2? 1/2. I'm done with that one. Right, Mike? Go to the next one. What's 2 divided by 1? 2. What's 2 divided by 2? 1. Anybody? What's 2 divided by 2?
1.
Already got 1. All right, start with 4. What's 4 divided by 1? What's 4 divided by 2? Already got 2. Don't write it again. All right, go to 5. What's 5 divided by 1?
5.
5. What's 5 divided by 2?
5 over 2.
All right, I don't have either one of those. All right, go to 10. What's 10 divided by 1?
10.
What's 10 divided by 2? Already got 5. All right, last one, 20. What's 20 divided by 1?
20.
What's 20 divided by 2? Already got 10. Y'all okay? All right. What about, mark out 20. 19 and 18 is what we just did, right? Remember doing that just a second ago? Are y'all okay? All right, now look, the key is going to be right up here on the board. It is also on Google Classroom,
So you said mark out the 20.
number 20. The key is going to be up here on the board. Huh? We just did it, baby. Like, we just did 6 of them just a second ago. Yes, give me 1 second.